Luke Richardson has revealed the truth about what is going to happen to Lukas Reichel if he does not start to perform better this season. We also have some injury updates coming from Anthony Beauvillier, as well as an update from the teammates of Connor Bedard on his first game back after injury. But we have a lot to discuss in this video. Quickly before we get into all of this here though, we noticed that 83% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel, so if you're looking for a spot to get all your Blackhawks news, as well as news from around the NHL, you're in the right spot. Make sure to hit the sub button. Join us along the journey to hopefully the first overall pick in Macklin Celebrini. But like I said, we have a lot to discuss here in this video, so let's not waste any time and get immediately into the first topic here, which is Luke Richardson. He's actually spoken on Lukas Reichel about his performance and about what may happen to him if he does not begin to perform better. So the first thing we've really heard about Lukas Reichel from Luke Richardson that actually has an impact in a long time. So wrong screenshot. There we go. Bad Pope is that he tweeted this. Richardson talked to Reichel for several minutes after practice today, but Reichel is expected to remain a healthy scratch tomorrow. He was as well as last game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Richardson was asked if sending Reichel to Rockford could be a possibility. Sometimes it's a little bit of an instant blow to someone's confidence. They're embarrassed a little bit that they didn't succeed, but the reason of using that tool is to succeed. It has done well for him in the past, so it could be something we'll look at in the future. And I think this is a very good sign that something like this could happen, especially coming from Luke Richardson, a guy who is making the decision to have him scratched on this lineup, maybe putting him into another few games after this scratch. He still doesn't perform. He may see a stint in Rockford. So I think Luke Richardson knows that this is the right move. He just needs a bit more time to see if Reichel can switch it around. But I really think it's just well to do it now. You know, Luke Richardson has made many decisions on Lukas Reichel this season to keep him in the lineup, to scratch him, to change him to the fourth line, the power play, the fourth and the first line. You know, anything that Lukas Reichel could have done on this team, he's been attempted to do it, and nothing has worked. So I think Luke Richardson is just one step away from making that move to send him down to the AHL. But Ben Pope was also asked from another Twitter user what he thinks on this subject. He goes, this is from Daddy Buckets, who replied to that tweet. He says, I'm interested in your view, Ben. Do you think they should send him to Rockford for a quick stint? And Ben Pope says, I'm not sure. I see both arguments. And, you know, that's kind of the stance I've been on as well for this whole tenure where Lukas Reichel has not been playing well. There's also, you have to think that the best competition that he will play is in the NHL. And that's not a question. The NHL is far better than the AHL. However, he's just not succeeding in the NHL. And having him sent down to the AHL, performing against weaker opponents, will not make him any better. It'll boost his confidence, but it will not make him a more skilled hockey player. So I do see both sides of the coin. I do see both sides of this, but you know, Luke Richardson seems to be ready to make that move, and hopefully that is the case, because I am leaning more towards sending him down for a few games just to get his confidence back. Lukas Reichel, we know, is a skilled hockey player. We've seen it come from him before. He can do this. He can play in the NHL, but his confidence this season is just not there, and we've been able to see that from a mile away. But, you know, let me know what you think in the comments here for this one, because this is one we've been talking about for a long time. But let's move over to another topic here. A pretty big bit of news here is we have a major injury update coming from one Anthony Beauvillier, someone who we haven't really heard from, in a pretty long time. Ben Pope, once again, he says, Anthony Beauvillier hopes to return against Carolina or Philadelphia next week. He says, it feels like I haven't played in forever. It's nice to be back in the group and do everything with them, meetings, workouts, etc., and not on my own. You know, once again, Anthony Beauvillier, been one of the, a decent acquisition from the Blackhawks this season, has 6 points in 15 games, only played 15 after coming from Vancouver, so, this team is lacking in points. We're not going to, put that to the side. This team has struggled scoring without Connor Bedard, without the top players. And Anthony Beauvillier, a skilled player, can play in the top six, can play in the bottom six, can play wherever you want to put him. And he's coming back. This is a very good sign for the Blackhawks once again. This team is starting to get healthy. And like Luke Richardson and Kyle Davidson both said, you're going to have to earn a spot on this team now, which I think is a big sign for Lukas Reichel, putting these two together. But, Anthony Beauvillier, a nice player to have back, nice player to be around the team once again, a veteran, boosting the atmosphere in the locker room, the chemistry. You've seen that with Bedard and Kurashev in their first game back. You see the chemistry. They synced up very, very well in that first game. And, hopefully when Anthony Beauvillier, the rest of the regulars come back to this lineup, we'll start to see that gel a bit more with this team, as well as the rest of the offensive side. Because this team, once again, there's no surprise. They've been struggling a lot with the injuries, with the players on the team not having consistent line mates and everything. We've been seeing it more lately, but still, an injury comes, you're not with your usual pairing for a long time, things can change. But, a good sign, Anthony Beauvillier will come back, hopefully, next week. Andreas Athanasiou is still skating, but yet again is a nice while away before he actually does return. But, we have a very good sign looking forward for Anthony Beauvillier. But speaking on that and the chemistry from Bedard and Kurashev, the teammates of Connor Bedard have spoken highly of him since this first game. Many of the players on this team, including Anthony Beauvillier and Nick Foligno, the unnamed captain of this team that we like to call him, and soon to be named captain next season would be my, prediction, my guess. But he goes on to say, about Connor Bedard. When you're hurt, everybody is impatient. He was eager to come back. Eager is the main thing, and we knew that. That's what Beauvillier said. I'm glad it's past him now, and that is exactly right. Connor Bedard knew, the entire team knew that he wanted to get back. He wouldn't have missed a game if he had to. Now, this also comes from another article from Ben Pope, a lot from him today. This was on the article about Connor Bedard, his injury, and everything. Connor Bedard said that he kind of wanted to pull a page from the book of Zdeno Chara in the 2019 playoffs when he broke his jaw and did not miss a game in the Stanley Cup Finals. But, Bedard recognized that when he's seen the x-rays and everything, it's not the Stanley Cup Finals. It's not a Game 7. There's no need to rush an injury. There's no need to make anything, have a potential bad position for his future or anything like that. He recognized that, and so did we. But, Anthony Beauvillier, like he said, he was eager to get back. He wanted to come back earlier, but the time was right, and I think that he is very happy to be back. We're very happy that he is back. I think that's no question at all either. But Nick Foligno also goes on with a very long one here, so bear with me for a quick moment. He goes, you could see he got more comfortable as Thursday's game went on. He was getting used to the speed that we've been playing at. You can never mimic a game speed, but then once you start to see him get going and feel it, he remembers the plays he can make and what he does out there. We go as he goes a lot of nights. If anything, he's more comfortable and understanding of who he is in the NHL right now. He's still learning that, but he realizes he's a pretty darn good player, especially when he plays a 200-foot game. He's capable of playing and understands the value of playing defense, allowing himself to play in the offensive zone all night. When he does that, he's as good as anyone else in the league. And, that's high praise coming from, your captain, especially Nick Foligno, a guy who's been everywhere in the league, a very well-respected player around the league. And, the fatherhood, the parent of this team, I guess you could say. I think whatever he said there, what the entirety of what he said, I should say, is exactly right. Bedard started off slow. We noticed that, but as soon as that second period came, we seen that he clicked. Him and Kurashev, he was back to his normal self. But, especially after not having any team practices, we did see an article. I mentioned that other video, the one that Bedard is back. If you make sure to go check those out if you haven't already. We made a lot of Blackhawks content over the past 2 days. Another update last night as well. But Luke Richardson was throwing hits to Connor Bedard before to make sure he was already in a private skate. So pretty funny to see. But, Nick Foligno couldn't have said anything better there. Absolutely right. Bedard is a very special player, especially now that he's came back from injury. He's wanted to come back the entire time. So this team, you could see how much the team respects him, how much this team cares for him. And, I can see it going both ways. Bedard cares a lot about these players as well. And it's nice to see. Finally this team has a bit of comfort. Everybody's starting to come back from injury. Hopefully we don't see any more anytime soon. But, things are looking up. Things are always looking up for this Blackhawks team because it can't get much worse. But, let me know what you guys think about all this news here in the comments, especially the Lukas Reichel one. That one has been on my mind a lot lately. But, that's all I got. Make sure to hit the sub button if you haven't already. Like I said, lots of Blackhawks news coming down the pipe here, especially going into the trade deadline, seeing if Kyle Davidson can get in the mix of anything, maybe a third-party team, maybe getting rid of some players that are likely going to be moving on after this season. But, that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.